Good evening. Thank you all for coming. And to the entourage that was alluded to, I can't believe how many people came. I didn't even tell anybody about it, so thank you. I have often been known to say that my success comes from making more mistakes than anybody else, except that I don't make the same mistake twice. Except for one time. You gotta lower that.
Yeah, sorry. Can you get closer?
Yeah, yep. Except for one time. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. So I got married, you knew it was coming, in 1992 to a lovely woman from Long Island. And I was living down in New York City. And we ended up getting married, and I had an opportunity to go back to Albany for work. And as a starting up couple, I thought it was going to be much better for us to be up in Albany. And she didn't like her job anymore. I didn't like her family. So we had a lot in common. So we went to Albany, and I had a job already existing. I was in the job for 6 years. I just relocated back to the Albany office. I started in Albany, went to New York City, and went back to Albany. And she was going to find a job, and we were going to live happily ever after. Well, I was going to work every day, 9 to 5. That's too loud again, Gregor. But she wasn't really looking for a job yet. So I would come home after 5, whatever it was, and I would notice that when I went to the restroom, that the shower curtain was soaking wet. So I realized that Cheryl just took a shower. Pretty good at 5:15 p.m. And it was troubling me that she was not doing much if she was just getting in the shower before I arrived home. The pattern continued with that she would never cook dinner. Now, maybe I'm lucky that she didn't, because the truth is she can't boil water. She's the only person I ever met that I asked if she would boil water and put spaghetti in, and she boiled the water and forgot about it, and all the water boiled away, and the pot went on fire. And we literally I went in the kitchen and I felt heat that threw me back. And I'm like, what is going on? And we had to call the fire department. Continuing on in the relationship, I really wanted her to get a job. A, it would be good for her. B, it would be good for me. C, it would be safer for us if she wasn't in the house all the time. And finally, she could contribute to making us be a little bit more financially set to live the kind of life we might like to live. So she started looking. She looked into classified. She set up her schedule. She would tell me every day what she did and where she went and how it went. And after, I'm going to say dozens, I might be exaggerating. Maybe it was 100. No, it was really just a couple of dozen opportunities and interviews. She wasn't getting anywhere. So I called up my friend Mike, who worked at a car dealership, and I asked him if he had any opportunities for someone who's a bookkeeper to work in the office. And he said, you know, I'm going to need somebody in about a month. I said, would you do me a favor? Would you give Cheryl an interview? You don't have to hire her. I don't want you to do me a favor. I just want you to do an interview. And the most important part of that interview is I'd like to know how she does in the interview, and maybe I can help her because she's not seeming to find a job. So,
Sorry, if you get closer, I'll turn the volume down.
Okay. So, he did agree to do it, and I asked her to make an appointment with Mike, and he was a friend. He's going to be gentle and good, so, go do the interview and good luck. So that night I came home, and I was cooking dinner, because that's what I did too. She wasn't really helping a lot, but I was hoping, dear God, please get a job. And she came home and I said, hey, how did it go? And she said, oh, it was good. I said, you don't sound enthusiastic. She goes, well, I don't know if I'm going to get that job. I said, all right, but that's not the goal. The goal is to keep trying and then finally find the right one for you. So the next day I went to work and I called him up and said, Mike, what happened? How was the interview with Cheryl? He said, what interview? I said, yesterday. She told me all about it. He said, she never showed up. I said, you're kidding me. So that was the final straw for me about how this relationship was falling apart. Falling apart in a big way because we didn't even have reasonable trust. We didn't have reasonable support of each other. There was a whole bunch of things that just weren't working. And somebody who, I have a friend that likes this line that I say to them, I was falling out of love quickly. It was easy because I never got in love. And that's the biggest problem I had with this marriage. 19 months total marriage, we were done. I made dinner one night. I wrote a separation agreement and I served it to her for dinner. It was a great agreement. If she signed it, she got signing bonuses. If she left the house within 2 weeks, she got more money. I bought my way out. And again, I do mean she was a lovely person, but there was no life, no motivation, no partnership, no connection. It was just unbelievably sad for me. So we got divorced. 10 years later, I got married again. And you remember my opening comment? I make a lot of mistakes, but I don't make the same mistake twice, except for one time. I'm divorced again, and I don't have time in this story to tell you about that one. That's another story. You can come back and hear. But the moral of the story is this. I now have an ex-wife and a Y-wife. Why did I do it again? Thank you.